right. Another day, another dollar, another Axiom Esports versus Quantic gaming match. I realize none of those phrases had anything to do with the other, but before we do introductions, of course, in the top right, guys, you can see the scoreboard displayed all nicely and boldly. You can see it is currently 2-0 in the favor of Axiom, and their newest addition to the team, who is spotting in the upper 12 o'clock position on Polar Night. Up 2 in the series, he's the Blue Zerg, Impact. So far, so good. Really nice pickup, Axiom. They have been waiting to use this guy. Worth noting that, while he was picked up a few weeks ago for Axiom, he was actually not allowed to play for the Acer Team Strike Cup, not immediately at least. So this is actually the first week he's been allowed to play, the first week he's getting to play, and a great debut with a 2-0 start. But his opponent in the lower corner, central portion of the map. Oh, every caster, I tell you, we all hate this. There's no corners on this map, we're so used to saying it, but at the 6 o'clock spawn location to the south, playing for Quantic Gaming, it is Hwangsin. And hopefully, fingers are crossed, he can start bringing this back from Quantic, because as much as I think it would be an amazing accomplishment for Impact to get an all-kill versus an accomplished team like Quantic Gaming, I want more StarCraft, guys. I woke up at 5 AM for this. I want to get as much StarCraft as humanly possible out of it. And of course, as always, a small little nod to the Lich King who hides on this map. Best Easter egg ever, Phoenix, the map maker of Hwangsin. If you're listening, where are your Easter eggs, man? Alright, well, Hwangsin is going to find himself getting hatchery blocked here. This is a little bit interesting because players will often go for the natural, so you'll play sort of 3 hatch before pool style where you'll go for the natural first and then block with your 3rd hatchery, but Impact doing the other way around. Hwangsin's got to be a little bit curious. Doesn't see a pool, doesn't see a hatchery. He's got to smell something is amiss. And of course, this hatchery being there is really dangerous. The gas coming so early. I don't think this is going to be for speed. I think this is going to be for roaches. And if he procs these roaches against Hwangsin, that could be GG. But Hwangsin is experienced. He's one of the longest standing members of Quantic Gaming. He's the captain of the team. And he's absolutely seen this happen before. Does he react to it appropriately is going to be the big question. Coming down here with the probe. Gotta be a little bit pissed. Gonna pull his probes. Oh my god, this alone. So this might seem like an overreaction, but necessary. He cannot, I repeat, he cannot afford to let this build. Of course, it will finish. And he's pulled it a little bit too late, but he's got to minimize the damage it does, and he's got to reduce the amount of creep that it will spread. Because let's not forget, guys, the longer this is up, the longer it'll take for that creep to recede. That means the longer the natural will not go down. And Gamja, or not, sorry, not Gamja, my mistake, Impact is also not going to have his own natural anytime soon. But I called roaches, I was mistaken. It is going to be for speedlings, and 8 of them coming out here. Will this be an all-in from this point is the big question. It kind of has to be, I feel, without his own natural. I mean, he'll take out the pylon, maybe he'll expand behind this. If he expands behind this, then it won't be an all-in. But if he does go for the all-in, it could be very powerful. As, again, no sentries out, only this one choke in the wall. Ling's going to get right past this, though. Metabolic boost only halfway done, so they're not going to get too much damage done in that regard. Any workers killed so far? No. Any units actually lost so far? Yes, so I missed first blood. My bad, guys. We'll pretend I didn't. Hang on. We'll make this cool. We'll make up for it. You ready? Are you ready?
First blood.
Alright. Anyways, Lings are not getting much done, of course. They can maybe go in and try to kamikaze a probe down, but of course with the sentry here, should be able to DPS these guys with very little issue. Ooh, just barely escapes with 1 health. As always, 1 HP hype for the win! I don't know if he's actually in chat, but 1 HP for the win. That one's for you, buddy. And another hatchery coming out of Impact! What is happening this game? He does not want Hwangsin. Did I not have protection tab up this entire time? I'm terrible, I'm sorry, but he did not want Hwangsin to take a natural base. And okay, resources lost doesn't seem worthwhile for Impact, but forcing a Protoss player to 1 base, that might end up paying dividends in the end. Now, Pylon is going to get scouted here, and Hwangsin has put down the additional gateways. Not a 4-gate scenario, but definitely want to try and put a little bit of pressure out. Sadly, though, Impact, knowing where that Pylon is, should rush over here with some Lings. Where are those Lings? Yeah, I'm going to rush over there to pick it off. Yeah. Well, unfortunate is as unfortunate does. Hatchery will go down 1 more time, but losing that pylon on the other side of the field kind of negates the chance of going for a counter push. Couple links are going to pop out. Beautiful force field on the ramp. Going to make sure at least nothing is scouted here. But with the amount of sentries available and the amount of zealots he's shown, it should be pretty obvious that there's more than one gateway at this point. But oh! Almost going to lose a sentry to the broodlings. Still, not exactly worth it, but no expansion going to come down anytime soon. This is... Oh gosh, I can only really say this is like an extended series of a ZVP. Like, this is... delayed. His natural will come up here in a moment once the creep proceeds. But Gamja, or I keep calling him Gamja, sorry, this is the problem with barcodes, right? You can never read the name out. But Impact from Axiom, Impact is actually not got a third. He's not going to be taking one anytime soon. And even though the Roach Warden's on the way, he's dedicated a lot to deny this natural. Was the resource count worth it? It's going to be the big question. Ling's going to try and flood on in, but of course Ling's can't do much, sadly, without force fields available. Or with force fields available, I should say. But yeah, Impact. Let's get that into my brain now in case he takes out Hwangsin again. So I don't misspeak. Yeah, Link's just being corralled around. There's, I don't know, if you try and go for a scout off, I guess, but a force field on the ramp, not even going to allow that to happen. So, really important that Impact didn't come and see the Stargate. It was hidden very far in the back of the base. Want to absolutely make sure this wasn't detected. And with the Phoenix opening, again, like, this is the extended series. Here comes your Nexus, 9 minutes in. Not incredibly late, but still late nonetheless. I mean, obviously, if you go for the expansion open, if you go for a gateway expand build, you want to get that down ASAP, but unfortunately delayed due to the incredibly weird, we'll call it unique, harassment of Impact. But Impact now securing his own third. But I say securing in air quotes because unlike a regular fast third, there's a lot of units ready to assault it. And I don't know. I'm just thinking about the opening of this game. Like, I know some people are probably gonna think it's trolly, and some people in chat are mirroring that sentiment, but it's actually good to deny it once. It's the second hatchery that kind of makes me go, wait, what? But Phoenixes have still not been revealed at this point. I think a big part of this is he does not want Spore Crawlers going down, right? Like, he needs to make up economic damage. He needs to make up for having his natural delayed for so long. If he reveals the Phoenixes too soon, Spore Crawlers will go down. The Hydralisks will be made. But as we see at the moment, Impact is making neither because I don't believe he's expecting the Phoenix follow-up, especially by showing all of these gateway units. Now, of course, Force Field's going to come down and a recall should go off. Hwangsin, recall, please. No! Going to lose a little bit too much, but still gets a majority of the units out alive. Alright. How many sentries? 3 sentries. Pretty much full energy get through that. But now the Phoenixes are shown. The Overlord's going to start getting picked off from here or there. Supply blocking Impact, actually, a little bit harshly. 1 Spore Crawler come down. 1 single Queen here in the main. With 3 Phoenixes can kill the Queen probably before the Spore Crawler finishes or just afterwards, but instead going to focus on the Overlords for now. I guess supply blocking his opponent could be a little bit devastating as Roaches are very supply intensive units. Cost effective but not supply effective, as oftenly referred to. Okay, Hwangsin transitioning to Void Rays. I was expecting continued Phoenix production, but I guess revealing them so early, forcing out those Hydralisks. The Void Ray will be fantastic against these Roaches, and Impact's already going to pull back after seeing it, but Hwangsin doesn't have a lot. He needs to get a bigger ground force before he can really do too much. Phoenixes are going to keep poking around the map. Actually, he's killed quite a few Overlords with these. How many Overlords have gone down at this point? 6 Overlords so far, and quite a few workers. So, Hwangsin, can you imagine what he'd be doing with 5 Phoenixes? The magic he's doing with 3. But okay, gonna start crawling the Overlords over the Spore Crawlers. Impact probably won't lose too many more. Hydras are gonna be coming out here shortly, and of course we got the Groove Spine, so that range upgrade before speed. Love when players do this. There's so few scenarios where Muscular Augments really works out in your benefit to go for them first, but with Groove Spines coming, he'll have no problem starting to shoot away either over top of the Force Fields or at these Phoenixes upon their retreat. Of course, one thing that's unfortunate for Impact is he doesn't have this massive drone count. Typically, of course, you'd love to have this perfect saturation on 3 bases, but between the harass and between having to build the buildings, is that's how Zerg works. He's not quite at the drone count I think he'd love to be, but not in a lot of danger back at home. Hwangsin's got an Immortal out now. He catches quite a few of these Roaches, actually, and looks like Impact going to try and focus down a sentry or 2 on the way out, but the Zealots are just going to buffer a little too well on the Void Rays with that bonus damage versus armored. So perfect. But here comes the Infestation Pit. Again, I don't... Okay, so he may go for Swarm Host. I mean, that's kind of a nice go-to versus Protoss in general, but I think this will be for Hive Tech again. Colossus haven't been revealed, but I imagine Impact is expecting them after seeing the composition coming out of Hwangsin. Although the Void Rays may say otherwise. We'll find out as time comes. But for now, there's a lot of Hydralisks here, and they are kind of glass cannon-y. Force fields are going to be a big issue. Guardian shields put up immediately, going to reduce some of that range damage. And nice time warp, some good force fields. Initially catch 3 Hydrals and backs up immediately. Worth noting, Hwangsin not going to over-dedicate to an attack that he knows he can't take. Love that he pulled back from this immediately. Did a bunch of damage. Ooh, lost that warp person though. That's a little bit rough. He would have loved to have gone to the natural base, of course, and just warped in a ton of Zealots. However, picks off a lot of Hydrals initially. Another set of force fields will come down here in just a second. Beautiful Graviton beams, using them to crowd control the Hydrals instead of DPS them. Drones are pulled, of course, but they're not going to last too long. And with the last couple force fields, it looks like he'll break the army of Impact. Void Rays are overcharged, but of course they don't. Overcharge doesn't, or sorry, prismatic alignment, I should say, does not do bonus damage versus the Hydras, just the Roaches. However, looks like despite the initial advantage in that attack, Impact is going to push this back. No more Phoenixes available, no more crowd control, and without Blink Stalkers, doesn't have a great way to connect to these Hydralisks. Hwangsin going to lose his entire army here, down to 8 armies supplying just these 4 Stalkers. 5 Sentries warping in at home, 6 Sentries warping in at home. If he starts getting Colossus out soon, he could possibly deal with the Hydralisk, but he doesn't have the Robo Bay down, I believe. No, it's just the Robo Facility to produce Immortals. Stuck with Gateway units for the time being. No Twilight, so no Blink. That's the big scary thing. Blink Stalkers can contend with Hydralisks on pretty even numbers, but not like this. Not 4 Stalkers, not without Blink. This is going to get rough for Hwangsin. He's going to have to perform like the best defense of his life if he wants to stay in this game. If he wants to keep Quantic in this series, but down 2-0 like this. They still got a couple lives left, but still, if Hwangsin loses here, 3-0 is a terrible way to start the day. But lots of Stalkers again. No Blink, no Blink. That's what makes this so scary for our Quantic player. This wall off will hold for a little bit. He did fully wall this off, by the way, guys, to buy himself a little more time, but as Lings flood in, so must Hwangsin force a fight. And not a lot of force fields available. Nothing to zone this out. Lings, of course, going to cut off some of the reinforcements. Stutter stepping forward is Impact, and it looks like he may have just secured game number 3. The Hydrals count is a little too high, and there's just nothing on the field for Hwangsin. No Mothership Core, no Photon Overcharge, just this Immortal. Probes are going to be pulled into this. Stalkers being warped in, but good game is called. And, Impact, where have you been, man? 3-0 for the start. It's a best of 9, so first team to 5 wins. We're not quite there yet, but we're on our way. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Base Trade TV. Big shout outs to you guys in chat being active, discussing the games. I kind of glance over from time to time. Obviously can't spend too much time staring at chat, but I want to thank you guys for taking part in chat today. If you are in chat, though, of course, as you can see down below, we have a vote system running. It's going to be live for me, but slightly delayed for you guys. If you type exclamation mark, well, that was English, or a stroke, one or the other, but exclamation mark vote, and then the name of the team, either Quantic or Axiom. It will, of course, update down below. We can see right now 13 people have voted, 10 of you in favor of Axiom, 3 of you voting for Quantic Gaming. But we're going to toss out to some ads while we find out who the next player will be, and of course, I'll update chats, since we're on delay, so you guys will know well ahead of time. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a sec.